I'm back. So I'm at the dog park with my doggies. I don't know if you can see them back there. They're like in this vicinity, but yeah. So they just like to sniff around. You know, there's a lot of dogs that come here, so they come, they sniff. I sit or stretch or make videos. So hello, for those of you who don't know me, I am Callie, and I wanted to share a story with you guys since in the last video that was right before this one, I was talking about how you have to have a surrender, this allowance for the universe to kind of flow for you, because ultimately it's got more power than you do, but through it I have power, so like through the energy of the universe, I can flow that energy in whatever direction I want, but I need that awareness, I need that I need that consciousness, that focus, that attention, okay? Because it's true, wherever attention goes, energy flows. So whatever you pay attention to is what you bring about. Whatever you are thinking about, as a man thinketh, as a man becometh. So that is all very powerful information and very true. With that said, I wanted to share a story with you guys about the time I did not listen to the universe and how that all played out for me. So I used to work at a hydroponic store, which was an indoor growing store. So you could grow anything indoors, plants, food, just indoor horticulture, okay? So through that, I met a lot of people, and what I would do is I would do consultations. I would help people set up their rooms. I would help people with plants that had issues, different things like that, because for those of you who don't know, I used to do indoor growing for 5 or 6 years. For a span of time. So it may have been less, but anywhere from 4 years. Probably 4 years. Time goes by so fast. I did my own growing for 4 years, but for 2 years prior, I was in with other people who grew and learning about how indoor growing worked, how plants, learning about how plants work. And plants are very interesting. I'll be making some videos on that soon. This is a very random channel. So, because we're a lot like plants, and it's interesting to kind of use plant psychology to explain humans' psychology in a way, the way we grow, and we have our own harvesting and our own falls and bloomings, our springs, different things like that. So anyway, I met some people from the store who wanted me to come over and look at their room. They wanted me to look at their plants, kind of assess some situations. So I got on my GPS, and I'm from like a back end town, like where it's mostly trees. There's very few people, but it's just woods everywhere. I miss it. I love it. But it gave me this route that was a back trail, and I'm in, a Chrysler Sebring, a little car, and I'm driving down this road. It's, like 14 miles maybe out there, and I'm in a backwoods trail on my own, loving life. I'm just loving life. I was like on my game at this time, loving every aspect of life. And I was getting real deep into it. I only had like 2 miles to go before I was back to a main road, and a little voice in my head said, this is a seasonal road. You're not going to be able to make it all the way there in your car. And I was like, I'm only like a mile away. Like, how can I not make it this last mile? I'm going to go for it. Within about 10 seconds, 10 seconds, I end up in a mud puddle with ice. And it was like this deep. My car's in it. I can't move. I can't go nowhere. Completely just shocked. I had to call this person and be like, look, I'm like a mile away from your house in the middle of the woods. So they come out there, pick me up, and they're like, well, I can't get you out tonight. It's dark. It's in the middle of the night. So I go over there. I'm just completely not in my element. I'm with someone I don't really know. And for me, that's not a usual thing for me. I'm always really in control of my life and situations, because I'm like in a sense, a control freak. So, I'm just not myself, and I'm just like hating this person I'm with. Like, oh, I'm stuck with this person. Like, what do you mean you can't get my car out tonight? I'm stuck here tonight. Like, I was really angry, and it was a terrible night. And so, I mean, it was like, I was there on business, and people don't think like me, you know? So he's trying to impress me in ways that I find appalling. Like, no. So it was just miserable. But the next day, he's trying to get my car out, ends up getting his car stuck, right? And so we call as many people as we can think. A big truck comes, can't get me out. And finally, you know, one of our friends, because we had a mutual friend, or actually, no, she wasn't even my friend at this time, but she was someone I knew from town. And her friend had this crazy idea. How about we hook a tire up to the car and pull it out? And he came up to me and he's like, so just so you know, your car's probably going to lose the front fender. And I'm like, at this point, I don't care, just get my car out. And I remember closing my eyes, because I didn't listen to the universe. I didn't listen to that little voice in my head that said, don't do it. I did it. I was like, I hear you, but I'm there. I'm going to do it. And I paid for it. So I'm sitting there, you know, thinking like, okay, I really hope this works. I really hope my car isn't destroyed. As far as cosmetics, I don't really care, as long as the car gets out and I don't have to pay thousands of dollars. So I close my eyes and I surrender. I'm like, listen, I will listen from now on. Just please let my car get out. Just please let my car somehow miraculously come out. I will listen. I will do what I'm told. The little voice in my head. I will listen. I will surrender. I won't try to control everything. I will, you know, connect with that deep part of myself. And I opened my eyes and my car was free. It came out without a scratch. And so that's just one of many stories for me of, you know, a time when I had to surrender. Another time was when I lost Monty in over 1,500 miles of equestrian backwoods. Yes, lost him. He was gone. Gone. And it was getting dark. Sun was going down, which means you got to get out of the woods when that sun goes down. You don't want to be in there. That's when all the predators come out. I didn't have my dog. Me and my dad were out there miles away from our car, and I'm thinking to myself, I know I haven't been doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. I know that's why this is happening. This is meant to bring me back to me. You know, I get a little distracted. It takes some things happening in my life to like reel me back. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, please just bring my dog back to me. I promise I'll come back. I promise I'll do the work. And I promise, you know, that I won't give up. I won't lose myself again. And so we're walking miles. My dog, Monty, is nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. And, you know, I make my deal with the universe and I get back to my car and he's waiting there for me. So it was really beautiful. And then this another time I had someone else's dog and I lost this dog for 6 hours in even more woods. 6 hours. I'm begging the universe, battling fear, like, don't go into a fear state. Okay, be calm. It's going to work out. It's not going to work out. It's going to work out. It's not. And I saw him. I chased him away. It took me 2 hours and this little voice in my head. I was about to give up. And I mean, someone else's dog. I was about to give up and this little voice in my head said, go left. And so I go left and I'm miraculously, 6 hours. It was late. I had someone else out there helping me. This dog was nowhere to be found. He had gone up, given up, gone home. I was out there by myself. Little voice said, okay, go this way. And I did. And right in the middle of the road was this dog. And I was like, so yeah, that's just my experiences with the universe, listening to that little voice within. It's hard sometimes to know which is the guiding voice, which is like the antagonist voice, like, because there's a voice that's like against you always, against your best interests, and then there's another voice that knows which way you have to go. And deciphering the two, if you're lost in your mind, if you're lost in things happening, chaos, fear, it's really hard to know the difference between the two of them. So yes, know thyself, I guess. Know that self and know who's talking in your head. But yeah, you guys, I'm out of time. I only got 10 minutes, so I'm out. Bye.